Welcome back. First ever boys all-division state tournament kicked off last week, created with a belief that there should be one overall state champion in boys basketball. The first round began with 16 teams. Let's take a look to see who would advance to the Elite Eight. Top seed Cranston West had its hands full with Division III winner Prout. West was led by Brian Yarcy. Yarcy pumped in this three-pointer, 3 of his 22 points. Prout's John King had the hot hand. He launches a three. He had 30 points, but the Falcons of Cranston West prevail. 69-61 the final. They move on to play the winner of Portsmouth and North Providence. So in that game, Portsmouth and North Providence, the Cougars, Jake D. Domenico led the way with 24 points. Mike Ferranti contributed 13 points. Here's Mike. And then Portsmouth's Matt Ochi had a three-pointer. The Patriots battled back from 15 down in the second half to lead by a point, but Portsmouth ends up losing, eliminated by North Providence 77-75. The final, Cougars will now play Cranston West in round 2. All right, St. Ray's took on Westerly. The Saints get going early when Cesar Mejia hits a three-pointer. The Bulldogs were led by Austin Siley. He hits the little floater here. He had 15 points on the night. But in the end, it was the Saints that came out on top thanks to plays like this. Mejia with the alley-oop lay-in. He had 19 points. St. Ray's wins it 58-43, and they advance to play the winner of the Coventry-West Warwick game. So let's check that one out and see who prevails. The Wizards got going early when Brendan Haynes nails a three. West Warwick was up by 4, but the Oakers keep it close. Dylan Lincoln gets the steal. Takes it in for the hoop right before the half. Coventry up 4. But West Warwick rallies in the second half to win it 71-64. The Wizards will play against St. Ray's in the next round. Now for the other side of the bracket, we start with Bishop Henrican taking on Johnston. It was all Hawks thanks to Stephen Bevilacqua. Led Henrican charge with 7 three-pointers, 26 points on the night. Henrican wins 81-52. They'll face the winner of the LaSalle-Tiverton game. Tiverton was the number 11 seed taking on the Rams, and LaSalle, led by Thomas Hunt, contributed 22 points. Tigers gunner Bjornsson was even better. He had 25 en route to the upset. Tiverton winning it 64-52, so they get to take on the Hawks in the next round. North Kingstown played Rogers. Rogers trails when Cody Platt knocks down the three. That cuts the lead to 1. Nice back and forth in the first half. Here a scramble for the ball. NK's Robert Hazard gets it. Puts it home. He finished with 29. North Kingstown wins it 65-47. They will take the winner of the Central Juanita Sanchez game. So the final game of the first round was the second-seeded Central Knights playing 15-seeded Juanita Sanchez. Central led by 4 when Diego Campos cuts the lead to 2 with his hoop. He scored 14 on the day, but Central just too much for Juanita Sanchez. They cruise into the second round with a 77-45 victory. So here's a check of the bracket, the updated brackets. The top-seeded Cranston West Falcons will play North Providence. Winner of that game will play the winner of the St. Ray's and West Warwick game. Other side of the bracket, Henrican, looking for their 8th straight state title, will take on the Cinderella Tiverton Tigers. Rounding out the bracket, North Kingstown plays the second-seeded Central Knights. We'll recap all of the games played, including the state championship, which takes place this upcoming weekend. That'll happen on next week's show. So the first round of the boys tournament is in the books. Now let's see how the girls division playoffs shaped up this past weekend. We start with Division I EWG taking on Bayview. And EWG's Felicia Lucier takes the pass, puts it in for 2. They lead by 3 with just under 4 to go in the game. Bayview responds, 22 seconds on the clock when Rachel Batista drives in for the bucket and the lead. Bayview goes on to win at 55-52, the final. Woonsocket and LaSalle. Woonsocket, the defending champs, played LaSalle. They're the number 1 seed. Woonsocket's Michelle Brayboy kept the Villanovans in the game early with this pull-up jumper, but the Rams would prove to be too much. Caitlin Cornell puts it up and in. LaSalle drops the defending champs. 61-33 was the final. Up next, Westerly against Smithfield in a 2 versus 3 matchup. Jessica Sharenza getting the steal, and then all the way in for the layup, 2 of her 23 points on the Knights. Westerly cruised the entire game, knocking off Smithfield 57-20. Westerly will now play the winner of the E.P. Barrington game. So what happened in that one? Let's check it out. Final minutes of that game, game tied at 37 when Caitlin Nola sinks a three-pointer from the corner. Eagles would never look back. They win at 51-43. They'll move on to play the winner of the Smithfield and Westerly game. Now, Division II, Johnston against West Warwick. The difference in this one, the Wizards had one player who scored big. That would be Ariana Cafesso. She scored the game-high 21. That hoop tied it at 43. But Johnston had more balanced scoring. 4 players in double figures, including Gianna Mazzula. Here she breaks the tie. She had 10 points. The Panthers never trailed again. Johnston advances with a 53-46 win. Next, Cranston East, and proud for East, it's Erin Riley with a hoop. Helps get her team to within 9 points. She finished with 15. Proud's Emily Caswell led the way for her team, pumping home 25 as Proud advances with a 44-36 win. I. Rogers of Newport against East Greenwich. Rogers led by Tia Cromwell. This basket gives her team the lead. She finished with 15 points. EG led by Tracy Mason helps keep her team close on this hoop. She had 18, but Rogers advances to the semifinals with a 54-51 nail-biter win. Last game in the Division II bracket, Mount St. Charles against Mount Hope. The Mounties, top seed in their part of the bracket, had Maria Saya scoring here. She led with 21 points. Mount Hope trying to get back in the game via the long ball. Mara Newland hits the three of her 11 points. Mount St. Charles into the D2 semifinals, beating Mount Hope 56-34. Coming up, we'll tell you about an amazing milestone reached on Saturday night. Then we'll learn about a young man who inspires the entire town of Portsmouth every time he laces up his sneakers. And of course, you won't want to miss our top 5 plays of the week.